614 from Osaka Joe Hall. This show just went off the air, so yeah, let's get into it. So, in the opening match, we had Sonata making his return to challenge Konosuke Takeshita for the NJPW World Television title. Sonata has not been seen since New Year Dash. He was quite vague about what was going on with him. I honestly thought that he was done wrestling because of his injury, but he has returned. They put out a documentary about Sonata that is available in both Japanese and as well as with English subtitles if you want to watch it. But if you watch that documentary, it becomes very difficult to root against this guy as a heel, which he was working heel and he cheated in the match, etc. But when you watch that documentary, he's very down to earth. He talks about this horrible injury that he had at Wrestle Kingdom 18. And it shows him volunteering at a dog sanctuary, like sweeping the floors and walking the dogs. And I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to look at this guy and think heel. Before the match, he had this entrance where a bunch of dudes came out dressed like the various eras of Sonata, complete with replica title belts. So like you had Cold Skull Sonata with the Never Six-Man title that he'd always hold for the Evil and Bushi. You had the Pirate Sonata from 2019. You had that like white attire that he wore in 2022 with the United States title. And then finally, Karen Sonata came out, who has now dyed his hair bright red, naturally. But I thought this match was alright. It's crazy. I mean, you can still see that Sonata's left arm in his bicep is just atrophied. That's literally the word he used in the documentary. But I was rooting for him, and I was disappointed he lost. But yeah, I mean, I get it. But yeah, I thought the match was alright, and he's also included in the G1, which we'll get into later. So next we had El Phantasmo versus Jake Lee in a no disqualification match. I do not like El Phantasmo as a wrestler, period. I don't think he's a good wrestler. I really enjoyed him when he first debuted, and I think he's just gotten worse and worse year over year, and at this point, like, has nothing about him that resembles what I enjoyed so much about his run as a heel. Jake Lee is a great character, and he's hilarious, but he was already an iffy wrestler, and after this injury he suffered, it appears that he is fucked forever. All of that said, genuinely, this was one of the worst matches I have ever seen. I don't even know what to say. It was just really, really, really bad. And embarrassingly so. I don't know why they put this on. I don't know if El Phantasmo is going to be working in New Japan anymore because he lost this match and he's lost most of his matches this year, and he hardly even comes over and tours anymore, so I don't know what the deal is. And I really have nothing to say. This match was awful. Next we had a special tag match pitting former Just Five guys, Taichi and Yuya Amura, versus DMDK's Zack Sabre Jr. and Ryohei Iowa. So obviously you have Yuya and Iowa, who have been feuding on and off for a while, and then former Dangerous Tekkers Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. in this match, teaming alongside their Koheis. And I like all of these wrestlers. I'm maybe not as hot on Umura as other people are, but I like him. And Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. are both some of my favorite wrestlers ever, period. And so naturally I thought this match was really good. Really, really cool to see Yuya and Zack working together. He's pretty much the only young guy who Zack is yet to work with substantially. Like, he's worked with Knockout Brothers, he's worked matches with Iowa, both in Oleg, Umino, Newman, Gabe Kidd, Yota Tsuji. wish Taichi could be in the G1. He's not going to. I know now that he's not going to. But man, he's just so good at everything, and he cares so much about this, and he's so good at getting guys over. And fuck, man, I'm not asking for him to be world champion. I get it, but give him something important to do, because you don't get wrestlers like Taichi very often who just naturally have such a great connection with the audience and such great sympathetic babyface energy. I love Taichi, and he showed out in this match way more than I thought he'd be able to, which I was really happy about. Next we had El Desperado versus Mystico. It was a good match. I know Mystico is considered like one of the best wrestlers on the planet. I think he won. I think it was last year he won the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Award for Wrestler of the Year, which that's not a Meltzer. Like that's not just like Meltzer deciding that. That's like a big fan vote. I just don't really understand why he's working in New Japan right now. Like I don't get it. It's just to come have good matches because Mystico and he's cool, I guess. But like, yeah, I don't really see like the means to an end here. And Desperado won, who I am sick of. And so that was another reason I wasn't super interested in this match, because I'm very, very tired of Desperado. And Desperado even tapped him out and celebrated like he just fucking won the Super Bowl. I've never seen Desperado that animated ever after winning a match, so that was pretty funny. Yeah, it was a good match. I don't really have anything else to say. Now we have Aaron Wolf challenging to take back the Never title that Red Narita beat him for, I believe also in Osaka, on the New Beginning tour. Red Narita is a guy who I really want to like, and I think he is better than people online, Western fans online, may say he is. But I'm not going to pretend that he is anywhere close to the level of his contemporaries of like Yuya or Yota Tsuji or Shota Umino. He's not. And he came out with this crazy new gear, too. He looked insane, but I kind of dug it. I thought it looked good. And I think he performed well in this match. I think Ren Narita works well when he is a kind of like a menacing technician, the sort of guy who's going to like choose a part of your body and just work that part to the bone. And Aaron Wolf, he's worked this match 5 times at this point, right? Like he's wrestled Don Fale twice. He wrestled Narita before. He wrestled Evil. Those have been his singles matches. They've all been the same thing. And he looks good every time. But this is presumably the end of Aaron Wolf in the House of Torture vortex, quote unquote, right? Like he's going to have to go out now and you could say have real matches. He was not included in the G1 lineup. I'm sure that he will be in it. I'm sure that he will be in a qualifier match, and that will be his first singles match, presumably, unless it's against Chase Owens or something. No, with House of Torture. And even if that is the case, even if it's like Chase Owens or Yujiro Takahashi, he will be in the G1, and he will have 9 other opponents to work real matches in. So I'm hopeful for the guy. I think he's got good instincts. But, yeah, this is the real beginning of his career, in my opinion. And we'll see where this goes for him. Oh boy. So here we are at the point in the show where this show started going fucking insane. We had the United Empire, NRA, and Great Khan challenging the Knockout Brothers, Yuto Ice and Oscar, for the heavyweight tag titles. Knockout Brothers, in my opinion, are the best thing in the company, and they have been pretty much from their first match, or the match, rather, where they won the titles from Taichi and Tomohiro Ishii, and they are just amazing. If you are someone who, was wanting that intensity and fire that was in New Japan in 2016, 2017, like these are those guys, right? That is what they're harkening back to for me. And going into this, especially as someone who doesn't like Great Khan at all, and is middle of the road on an RA, he has very high peaks, he's had very happened. But I wasn't upset. And that's where, like, this show started going crazy, because this thing happened that I figured I would hate, but I didn't hate it. I thought it was a great match. I thought the finish was a good cheating spot. Like, that's what cheating spots should look like. House of Torture, take notes. And what I liked about the end is that Great Khan, who I think everyone was aware was the odd man out in this match in terms of the intensity he was bringing to it, he healed it the fuck up, and it worked. He was being a total prick. He was acting insane. And the crowd fucking hated him. And I was watching this and I was like, okay, I'm upset that Knocker Brothers are not champions anymore. I wanted them to hold it the entire year, hold it to the rest of the kingdom, But this is going to get the crowd behind them. I was also upset because it was announced that the winners of this match would be given entry into the G1. And I don't like Great Khan as a wrestler, and I did not want him in the G1. And I did want Oscar and Yuto Ice to be in the G1. But now, Oscar and Yuto are going to have to do qualifier matches, and they have never won a singles match before, either of them, right? So that's going to get the crowd really behind them, because they're going to want to get these guys into the G1 so they can face Hanare and Great Khan and get their revenge, and then get their tag titles back down the road. So I see the vision with this, and I think this was honestly a really good move to get the crowd even more behind the Knockout Brothers than they already were. And I trust Great Khan and Hanare to do this sort of thing right and lean in, specifically Great Khan, to just being totally maniacal, awful heels. So yeah, great match, as expected from the Knockout Brothers, and a result that I would have hated on paper, but I kind of loved it. And next we have Andrade El Idolo defending his IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship in a triple threat match. Very rare triple threat match, I believe. This was the first, at least in terms of singles, they have multi-tag team matches, but in terms of singles, I believe the last triple threat in New Japan was at Wrestle Kingdom 18, 2.5 years ago, between Will Ospreay and David Finlay and Jon Moxley. I could be wrong, but I think that was the last one. Anyways, Andrade defended the title against Shota Umino and Drilla Maloney. Now, this match was already interesting because this was a spot meant for Gabe Kidd, and obviously Gabe Kidd versus Maloney versus Umino would make a lot of sense. I'm happy Andrade was in this spot because I think he's awesome, and I wish he was in Japan more. And this match was fucking fantastic. Definitely my favorite match of the night. I figured that Maloney had a shot at winning this. What I really didn't expect was the crowd was completely behind him. They have been fans of him for a while, but I mean, this crowd wanted desperately for him to win the title. It was fucking crazy, and he had the best match of his career tonight. Like, I just couldn't believe what I'm seeing. I really didn't think he was that great a wrestler, but I am twice the fan of him I was before this match, just because of the atmosphere of the building for him during this match. It was fucking crazy. And that finish, Shota Umino wins his first title, he pins Andrade, and Drilla Maloney is right there. He's right fucking there. What an awesome finish. And then there is this post-match, which I don't like Gabe Kidd, okay? And this is the same thing as the last match. Like, I hate the Great Khan, and yet he wins and does this post-match angle, and I love it. Same thing here. Gabe Kidd came out, and I was like, oh, fucking great. And by the end of it, I was like, no, this actually is awesome. He beats the shit out of Umino. He spits on the lion mark. He spits on the global title, and he throws it out of the ring onto the floor. Maloney is crying. Like, this is fucking crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think that Gabe has a blueprint to have a good G1. He will be in it this year. I think that he should take steroids again. And personally, for me, the best best version of Gabe Kidd, in my opinion, is 2023 Gabe Kidd. I think he should go back to that. Come out there, wreck people, be awful. Don't even give a fuck about winning. Just beat the fuck out of people. If he can do that, I think he can have a really good G1 this year. And Umino won his first title. And like, it was such a great angle. Umino gets his ass beat by Gabe. Gabe leaves. Umino gets up and goes to the stage. He's all fucking delirious. And he just screams. Because in the midst of all of this, he has finally won a championship in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I love Umino right now. It's taken him a long time to figure himself out, but he has. He is a big bully in the ring. That is how he should wrestle, because he's just a big, mean piece of shit who will lariat your fucking head off. I thought that it was a great match, and all three guys gave great performances. I fucking love this match. It was awesome. Next, we had Yo making his title challenge off of winning the Best of the Super Juniors, challenging the Junior Heavyweight Champion, Dogi. I am not a big fan of Yo. I hated the Best Super Junior finals. But this Dogi reign has been awful. I was rooting for Yo to end it, and he did. I did not like this match. Kind of. This was, again, the show was just fucking crazy to me. And this match was like 20 minutes. It felt like nothing happening. Just nothing happening. The crowd was dead. Just nothing happened for most of this match, it didn't feel like. And then all of a sudden, Tanahashi gets involved and he gets thrown over the barricade by Sho. And that immediately woke the crowd up, because it was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And then the match evolved into usual House of Torture stuff, and Yo won, and the title is off Doki, genuinely. As the post-match was going on, which I'll get to, 10 minutes after this match ended, I tried thinking of who Yo won the title from, and I forgot. This Doki reign is one of the worst title runs of any championship in any promotion I've ever seen. I am so happy it's over. I wish it was someone other than Yo, but the post-match set up a fatal four-way between Akira and Wato and Fujita and fucking Sho for some reason, to see who will challenge Yo for this title. Good. Those guys are the future of the division, and Sho is also there. And knowing this company and how they're booking this division at the moment, Sho is gonna fucking win the match by pinning Wato or some shit. But yeah, Yo will get one or two defenses and I'll drop it to someone who should be champion right now, like Kosi Fujita or Master Wato or Francesco Akira. So, and now finally we're in the main event. Yota Tsuji fighting to reclaim the IWGP not World Heavyweight, just IWGP Heavyweight Championship from Callum Newman. This match, well, first off, Yota Tsuji came out with a new theme, which I thought was terrible. It sounded like a fashion show. I don't know why he would choose this theme. It does not sound like a main event wrestler at all. It sounds like, what are those guys called? Mansoor and Mace, the Maximum Male models. Like, it sounds like their theme. Or, I don't know their theme, but it sounds like what their theme should be. So, I didn't understand that. And I also hate Callum Newman's theme because it's obviously AI generated. But aside from that, this was a really cool match. Like, not at all what I expected. This was a fucking fight. They were beating the fuck out of each other. They were taking really hard bumps constantly. And unfortunately, it appears in the finish of the match that Callum Newman was injured. He took a bump wrong on his shoulder during a corner spot, and after that, he started calling out spots pretty loudly because they were probably doing an audible to get to the finish quick. And Yota Tsuji hit him with what I think is a new move. I'm reading that it's called a Fire Blaster. My physical to Fire Blaster. Sorry, but he took it like it looked kind of weird and not like a finisher, but it could have been because Newman was taking it a certain way to try faster than it was meant to, but the right guy won. I'm sure Tsuji was going to win regardless. And I thought this was an excellent match. I think better than the match where Newman won it, because there was no Ospreay drama. And Newman wrestled it pretty clean. I don't really think anything super... I mean, they went outside and used objects and whatever, but they were both doing it. So yeah, I thought it was a really good match, and I'm happy the title is back on Tsuji, and I'm happy they gave it to Newman by the time they did. They've lost David Finlay, they've lost Evil, they've lost their two heels. Red Narita is alright, but he's not that guy. They established Callum Newman, and now he's injured, which sucks, but that's not their fault. So yeah, good match. This was a crazy show to me, but I kind of loved it. I thought this was a really good show, and almost every match interested me, and the finish made me want to see where this would go next. Now, along with the show tonight, we got the G1 Climax lineup announced. We got 7 of the guys in each block specifically announced out of 10. So in the A block, we have Konosuke Takeshita, Yota Tsuji, Sonata, Shingo Takagi, Jake Lee, Bolton Oleg, and Hiroki Goto. And in the B block, we have Callum Newman, pending because he's injured, it seems, Zack Sabre Jr., Shota Umino, Yuya Uemura, Ren Narita, Drilla Maloney, and Gabe Kidd. There are 3 open spots in each block. They did say that the winners of the tag title match would automatically gain entry, so we don't know which blocks they're in, but Great O'Khan and Hare will be in this tournament. And that leaves 4 spaces open. I'm going to assume those 4 spaces are for Ryohei Iwa, Aaron Wolf, Yuto Ice, and Oscar. I don't know where they'll be put, but I'd be surprised if it's anyone other than those 4. I don't even know who you'd put in here. Would you put El Phantasmo in here? I don't think so. Doesn't seem like it. So yeah, that's your lineup. Both these blocks look alright. I say alright, like there's good wrestlers in these, but I was a fan last year because they put a lot of really good wrestlers in A block and put a lot of the really bad ones together in B block, and so I just watched the A block. Exact same thing happened at Best Super Juniors this year. This one has iffy wrestlers in both. Like Red Narita isn't great. I don't think Maloney is great. Gabe Kidd is. We will see what his run looks like, because I really did not like his match with Andrade this year at New Beginning. But he did have a good World Tag League with Yota Tsuji, so we'll see. A block, Jake Lee, in my opinion, he was working like Yujiro Takahashi tonight. I am not enthused at the idea of him being in the G1. Sonata as well. I think he had a good G1 last year, but we'll see. It's questionable if he should even be wrestling at all, because one of his arms is fucking atrophied. But I mean, the rest of the block is good. Like Konosuke Takeshita and Yota Tsuji rematching, as well as Konosuke Takeshita and Bolton Oleg meeting again. And B block does, I think it's cool that it is Zack Sabre Jr. and a bunch of young guys. I hope that stays the same with whoever ends up in this block. I really hope Newman can make it, because I would love to see this version of him against Zack Sabre Jr. And also, as I was saying, Yuya Uemura is the one young dude who has not worked a match properly with Zack Sabre Jr. yet, so he's going to get that in his G1. And we will also get the Maloney and Gabe Kidd match that we would have gotten last year if Gabe had not gotten injured on the opening night against Takeshita. So yeah, I think overall this is a good lineup, but goddamn bro, Taichi is not making this, and I know that, and I've made peace with it, but why the fuck is Jake Lee in this tournament and not Taichi? Why? Who does that benefit? sells more tickets or has better matches than Daichi. No, obviously not. People love Daichi, and he's fucking awesome. Put him in this tournament. But Yoshihashi in this tournament over fucking Sonata, who does not be working G1s anymore. So I do have some complaints, but overall, a good lineup, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that was my thoughts, review, recap, whatever, on Dominion. I feel like it sounded more negative than I feel about the show. I had a really good time watching the show. Like, I'm in a good mood.